Hey, good afternoon. Welcome to my live Redfin weekly update. My name is Jason Ferrier. I'm a real estate agent. I'm an investor here in Central Ohio. But today we're talking about Redfin's weekly update. Every Thursday, Redfin publishes an update, usually around 8 a.m. To 9 a.m. Eastern, and it takes me a couple hours to review the article, kind of check in on the data, and then put some material together for the live and to share with you guys. So I hope you get some value and some new information out of today because there are definitely big changes happening in the housing market. There are shifts happening in the trends, and this is a macro look now. So what we do is we do a national perspective on the housing market. Then we drill down to the Columbus metro area, Central Ohio metro area, where I live as and work as a realtor and investor. So, and if, by the way, if you have a metro you want me to analyze, viewers in the comments sometimes will say, "Hey, I want you to analyze Chattanooga, Tennessee, or a different spot in Ohio," and I'm happy to do that. So just leave that in the comments, or you can even hit me up. My contact information that's on my YouTube page. So anyway, big changes happening. We've got, no surprise, median sale prices up again to an all-time high according to Redfin over the last 4 weeks. But that's really not the news and not the big update, in my opinion, because as I look at the data, we also have uh, other changes that are showing that the market is not only slowing further as far as sales, the volume of transactions is slowing still, even in spring when it should be picking up. But we have new listings up again, up 8.5%, and we have active listings now over 900,000 active listings to 901,000 now active listings, and we haven't had 900,000 active listings in a while. So it's good to see more inventory. Price drops are accelerating, and um, but and I guess the other part is days on market is also up, so it's taking longer to sell houses, and you'll see that in the data. But I also have a great feature at the end of the national update. We're going to look at delisted homes. So I was able to dive into some of the back end data that Redfin has on a weekly basis. And I downloaded some of the raw data and then put it into a visualization so that you could see how many homes are actually being taken off the market. So a delisted home is something where, like somebody lists the house for sale, it doesn't sell, so they remove it from the market. A lot of times that could be called a cancellation or an expired listing. But whatever you call it, wherever you live, it's a home that was listed and then they removed it. It's not a sale. So it's not a cancellation of a contract. There was no contract on the house. It's just listed, doesn't sell, and it's removed. And delisted homes are exploding. And you'll see that in the visualization in a second or a few minutes once I finish the national update. Towards the end, we'll do that. So I think that's really telling as to what's happening in the market. My suspicion is a lot of those are luxury homes that are being taken off the market because people can't afford it, and maybe they're priced way out of range. So, all right, that is the preview. And again, do national. We're going to do local, and then questions, comments at the end. Please leave a question. Please leave a comment. People want to know what's happening in your market. All right, let's get to the Redfin live data update. Sorry. All right. So I'll just read the article quickly and then we'll get to the data. So the title of this article is Home Prices Hit Another Record High, Pushing Pending Sales Down 4%. Prices keep rising because this spring's inventory is lower than usual. And that's true. It is lower than historical averages. The sliver of good news for buyers is that mortgage rates have declined slightly. I would also say the good news for buyers is that days on market is increasing, and so is active listings. All right. Weekly, the median U.S. home sale price hit a record of $387,600 during the 4 weeks ending May 19th, up 4% from a year earlier. Weekly average mortgage rates dipped to 7.02% from a 5 month high of 7.22% at the start of the month, bringing the median monthly housing payment to $2,854, roughly $20 shy of April's all-time high. So I guess now people are saving 20 bucks a month. They can afford to go to McDonald's for one person. High housing costs pushed pending sales down 4.2% year over year, the biggest decline in 3 months, except the 4 weeks prior when sales declined 4.4%. Prices keep rising despite declining sales because there aren't enough homes on the market. New listings are up about 8% year over year, but inventory remains lower than typical spring levels. Many homeowners are staying put because they would rather hold on to the relatively low mortgage rate than move up to a bigger and or better home. All right. So a Redfin agent out of Salt Lake City, Utah said move up buyers feel stuck because they're ready for the next house, but it just doesn't make financial sense to sell with current interest rates so high, said Sam Brinton, a Redfin premier agent in Salt Lake City, Utah. The homeowners listing right now are often doing so because they need to. One of my clients is selling because of a family emergency, and another couple is selling because they had a baby and simply don't have enough room. Buyers should take note that many of today's sellers are motivated. If a home doesn't have other offers on the table, offer under asking and or ask for concessions because many sellers are willing to negotiate. All right, so I want to know from you if you are in the mode of buying, or maybe you're an agent or an investor, whatever, and you've been involved in a transaction lately. So are you having to pay, or if you're a seller, are you getting full asking price, or are there some negotiating going on? Is the price, are the prices the exact same as what the person's asking? Or are you asking, too much for the house? I want to know what's happening. And if you're seeing discounts and seeing, sellers willing to negotiate, I'd love to know. All right. So leading indicators, the indicators of home buying and demand activity. Daily average 30-year fixed mortgage rate. We know that's high, 7.09%. I'll tell you, I just went through an exercise on some investment properties, and um, I'm I'm seeing rates for investors at for a refi at 7.75 to 7.9. So that's like the best rate I could find on a investment, like a duplex or a triplex, not a commercial property, but a residential property, non-owner occupied, with a LTV of 75%. So I'm seeing about a percent higher approximately for investing. All right, we're up from 6.99% a week ago, up from 6.95% a year ago. Mortgage purchase applications, I'll skip down to that, declined 1% from a week earlier, down 11% year over year. Yeah. So if you're in the mortgage business, you happen to be watching this, I'd love to know if you are seeing increase in activity. Is it are you seeing more refi activity than normal? I keep hearing refi activities up. Like me, I mean, I'm going to refi something soon, um, on an investment property. But yeah, I wonder if refi activity is up or not. Redfin homebuyer demand index essentially unchanged from a month earlier, down 11%. So there's no doubt the demand is down compared to last year, and not great for spring home buying season. Touring activity up 31% from the start of the year. Last year, it was up 22% from the start of 2023. I guess that's a difference of what, 9%? Google searches for home down 8% month earlier, down 18% year over year. Same story. People aren't looking at houses as much as they did last year. No doubt, right? All right. Key housing market data. So this is the national metrics. They include data from 400 US metros, and it's based on homes listed and or sold during the period. It's weird. It says weekly housing market data goes back through 2015, subject to revision. I'll tell you, I can't find where it goes back to 2015 for weekly data. If you go into their data center in Redfin, can't find that. It only goes back to 2021, I think, just like their charts. So I don't know why they say 2015. I'd love to see the weekly data through 2015. I'd love to have access to that. Median sale price. Here we go. $387,600, a 4% change year over year. It's an all-time high. Median asking price, $420,000, 6.6% increase, an all-time high. So people are selling their house for more than ever from a median sale price basis, macro level. Also, asking prices are now $420,000. That's an all-time high for people, or what price people are asking for their homes. All right. Median monthly mortgage payment, $2,854. We already talked about that. Up 10.5% or 11% if they're rounding up. Pending sales, 89,303. That's down 4%. Biggest decline since 4 weeks ending, except one other period. So there's no doubt pending sales are not gaining steam. I thought, the good indicator of the health of the housing market from a balance standpoint would be, hey, if pending sales can pick up as new listings pick up, then there's still the demand is still kind of keeping pace with the supply, but it's not, because you can see pending sales 89,000. Now look at new listings. We had 102,000 new listings, a gain of 8.5%. So you subtract those, and you get what, 13,000 homes. So that's not a ton, but it's more than it was last week. So we basically gained, how I look at this, we gained active listings of about 13,000 homes. So active listings now is 901,000 active listings, again, a rise of 14.8%. Yeah, 14.8% more active listings. Still not near enough to make things, easier on buyers, but it's a step in the right direction. Months of supply, 3.2 months. That's months of supply is how many months of supply we have if we keep up the current sales pace. So at the current pace of homes selling, how many months of supply would we have if we didn't add any more new listings? We have 3.2 months. That's up 0.6 points from last year. 4 to 5 months is considered balanced by experts, I guess. Share of homes off the market in 2 weeks, 44.9. This next few stats, pay close attention to this. Share of homes off the market in 2 weeks, 44.9. That's down from 49%. I mean, that's a pretty big drop, right? That's what, 4 percentage points down from last year when it comes to the share of homes that are off the market basically within a couple of weeks. So it's like you put a house on the market, within 2 weeks, off the market and in contract. Last year was 49%. Now it's 44.9, 45%. So definitely a difference. Median days on market, another important factor. These stats right here are what caught my attention when I reviewed the data. Median days on market, 33. That's up 3 days. Watch days on market. Watch that in your market if you want a deal or you want to kind of find out where maybe somebody needs to sell. Watch the days on market. And first you have to understand what are the median days on market for your area. And then watch the streets and the neighborhoods you want to buy in, pick out some listings and watch them and start tracking how long they sit on the market. And as you look at the average and the median days on market for your area, and then you see a house exceed that, then you go, now this spot may be one where the seller may take a lower offer perhaps and be willing to negotiate a little. Share of homes sold above list price, 31.3%, down from 34%. So almost 3 percentage points lower as far as the share of homes sold above list price. That's good, right? Less craziness out there. Share of homes with a price drop 6.4%. That's up 2 points, not zero point 0.2 points, up 2 points. Highest level since November 22, meaning last year, I'm sure it was 4.4%. That's a big jump, right? So people are definitely cutting their prices more. Average sale to list price ratio 99.5%, down zero point 0.1 points. Not a ton, but at least it's not up. So days on market, time on market, how fast the percentage of homes that are coming off the market in 2 weeks, all those are kind of moving towards more of a buyer advantage than a seller advantage. Up until really the last couple weeks, it's more been, of the last few years until the last few weeks, it's been a ride, of the sellers winning every week. They keep, the numbers keep showing and favoring sellers. Now it's switching a little bit and buyers are starting to have some opportunity, hopefully. Again, these are macro level data points and certainly not near enough changes, not near enough change that we need in order for affordability to come back. But at least it's not getting worse at this point. Median sale price. All right. So this is the 50 most populous US metros. They only take the 50 most populous metros, but they also say select metros may be excluded to ensure data accuracy. Median sale price, Anaheim, California, 20.1%. Detroit, 16.9. San Jose, 12.9. Oakland, CA, 12.5. West Palm Beach, 4 to 12%. So those are the spots that increase the most year over year with median sale price. A lot of these are like wash, rinse, repeat. Every week, Anaheim's on there. The last several weeks, Detroit's been on there. San Jose seems like it's on every week, and West Palm Beach. Oakland hasn't been, but West Palm Beach is on there. The one that's missing, can you guess the one that's missing? Let me know in the comments if you can guess the one that is missing off this list that we usually see. Yeah, it's New Jersey, Newark, New Jersey, New Brunswick, New Jersey. Those seem like they're always on the year over year median sale price winner list, but not now. Decreases, San Antonio and Fort Worth. Down 1%, San Antonio, down 0.6%, Fort Worth. Of the top 50 metro areas, median sale price decreased in just 2 of them. So a little while ago, I said, hey, things aren't getting any worse. I guess technically maybe they are from an immediate standpoint because we're seeing prices continue to go up on a macro level. Except I would say it looks like some of that days on market and whatnot and the increased inventory should probably bleed through to prices at some point, you would think. Not a crash, probably, but some type of normalcy and leveling off. Pending sales up the most in San Jose, San Francisco, San Diego, Newark, and where I am, or close to it, Columbus, Ohio. West Palm Beach, Atlanta, Houston, Phoenix, Providence, Rhode Island, all down the most in pending sales. So pending sales increased in 10 of the 50 largest metros, which means pending sales went down in 40 of the top metros. New listings. They grew the most in San Jose, Montgomery County, PA, Phoenix, Seattle, San Diego. They dropped the most. New listings dropped the most in Atlanta, Chicago, Detroit, Virginia Beach, Virginia, Newark, New Jersey, and Warren, Michigan, where new listings dropped the most. So new listings decreased in 6 metros of the top 50 metros. So yeah, no doubt, new listings are increasing in most metros. And that's good, right? Got to have new listings, more new listings to add to active listings. All right. So we're going to do something different right now, though, with these charts. We're going to go to the Redfin weekly housing market data. So what I normally do is go through the charts that they have that are static on the weekly update page, but you can actually go to the data center and look at Redfin weekly housing market data and look at the same charts, except they're a lot more interactive and a lot more intuitive, in my opinion. So the top area here is the actual number. So, like for instance, this is the median sale price of all metros. We know $388,000. We saw that in the update. But then you can come down here and look at the year over year percentage change. So this caught my eye as well, because when you look at data maybe a different way than how they present it, things pop up. So we know that the median sale price nationally is up 4%, $388,000. I want to make sure everybody can see that. Yeah, $388,000. But then come down here to the year over year stat and look at this, up 4%. But do you notice something with the median sale price growth year over year? You got 5.3 up here, and then it dropped a little bit. It went up in March to 4.69% change, and then now we're down to 4. So it's kind of trending this way. Um, so maybe we're starting to see the end of these median sale price growths, that we see week after week. Maybe we're starting to see the end of that. All right, so that is median sale price. I mean, look at it. Huh. Look at it back in 2021 at this time. 330 grand. Now it's $388,000. Nuts. Nuts, nuts, nuts. All right. Let's do new listings. So these are the new listings. And by the way, over here in the metro area, you can look by metro or county and then select, like right now it's all Redfin metros, but you can select all these different metros, and look at your area or the city closest to you and even down to the county level. And that's what we'll do in a minute when we change to Columbus data. Median sale price, we looked at that. All right, now let's do new listings. All right, new listings, 8.5% increase. We're at 102,671. So no doubt higher than last year. Still below the new listings we saw in 21 and 22, but definitely more than last year. Look at the percentage of change, though. That isn't maybe what you want to see. Maybe you want to see a trajectory upwards, but we're not really gaining steam as far as the year over year change in new listings. Look at this data right here. What's this? 61%. Holy smokes. Look at that. Back in 2021 at this time, around this time, we had a 61% change in new listings up. Wow. Amazing. All right. So new listings going up. That's a good thing if you're looking for inventory. Active inventory. All right, now let's look at active listings. 14.84% increase year over year. We now have 901,000 active listings. And then you look at the rate of change. It's going down though. Again, active listing, if you were hoping that prices would like collapse, right? And you would see a rapid shoot up of inventory, then this is what to watch. And so our rate of change from last year isn't really going up anymore. It's kind of leveling off, maybe going down. Active listings are going up, but not at a record pace, not at an insane pace. But we do have more active listings right now than we did right in 2021, 22, 21, 22, or 23. So any of these years, prior years recently, definitely have more active listings. And that's good. Got to have more active. All right, let's look at months of supply. They do it in weeks of supply on the chart, but we're at 13 weeks of supply. That's a gain of 2.3 weeks year over year. But the rate of change seems like it's starting to tick up still. So we are seeing some, nice increases in the weeks or months of supply, as long as we add inventory faster than we are selling houses. So we'll see that change. All right, let's look at age of inventory. Let's see. Here's what we want. Median days on market. We got 32.7 days. They say 33. They round up. That's a difference of 2.5 days year over year. But look back in previous years, 25 days back in 2021. And then in 2022, we had 19 days on market. So that's a massive difference. I mean, it's not double yet, but it's almost double what we saw in 2022 at this time. So it's giving buyers some breathing room, right? Like, hey, I'm going to look at a few houses. Oh, I'm not sure yet. I need to talk about it over the weekend. We need to maybe kick the tires a little bit. We need to look at our finances again. Oh, now you have time to do that, at least a couple days. Previous years, like last few years, no time to do that. It's like you got to go in, make a decision, and then either lose or buy and probably pay over asking, right? So now there's at least hopefully some more breathing room. I'd love to know, comment below, are you seeing houses sit longer? Are you? Are they sitting longer on the market in your neighborhood? Or are they flying off the shelf? So that rate of change is definitely increasing. Again, I would definitely watch days on market in your area for the best, one of the best indicators of the health. Let's look at pending sales. So pending sales down 4.2%. It's a lot worse than it was the previous years, meaning, and it's going down. It's trending down overall. You can see that here on this bottom graph, right? Trending down. So if pending sales, which means a house is in contract and the buyer and seller have agreed on a price and terms, and there's they're going through the title process and the loan process usually and all that stuff, and then they go to the title company and close on the property, and then the property changes hands. So the pending sales are a great indicator of how busy, the market is, how much turnover is there of houses. And right now, um, it's awful. I mean, if you're in the business, we're just, I'm a realtor and yeah, it's slow. I'm not particularly slow, but there are a lot of realtors that are slow, a lot of mortgage professionals slow, title offices slow. It's just not a lot of activity. Prices are high, rates are high. People are kind of just taking a break from the housing market in a lot of cases. So that's what you're going to see, low pending sales. All right, homes sold. This is actually sales of homes, not just pending, but actually a home sale. Homes sold 74,186, down 0.7%. So if you keep adding new listings, active inventory increases, pending sales doesn't increase at the same pace, then you're going to see inventory build. And eventually prices will start to soften a little bit, maybe come down in some areas. But definitely give buyers some breathing room as far as making decisions. No doubt. Off market in 2 weeks. Remember we talked about this on one of the stats. I said, keep an eye on this stat. Down 2.3%, 43.5% of homes off the market in 2 weeks or less. But it's definitely less than the last few years. So homes are sitting generally longer. This is another indication of that. And look at this. It's going down. I mean, you can see here the trajectory of year-over-year data of the year-over-year increase or gain, increase or decline is definitely going down. I mean, we're at negative 2.3%. It's no doubt we're seeing houses sit longer overall, macro level. All right, let's look at one more stat here. I want to do asking price. They actually don't have asking price on here for some reason. I thought they did. New listing median price. Is this the asking price? 420, 250. Yeah, I guess it is. So just a different name. $420,000 for the new listing median sale price. So when a property hits the market, what's the median price of those properties hitting the market for new listings? $420,000. So people ask, they're always looking at this. Other YouTubers look at this stat, scratch their head and think, why in the world are new list prices going up? Prices are going up overall, right? Median's up again, but price drops and price cuts are accelerating as well. So I'll show you that now. They call it price drops, right? Look at price drops, just whoop, straight up, not straight up, but it's up definitely. Up 2% year over year, 6.4%, way higher than the previous years. Look at that at this time, way higher. So, in I can't speak for all markets because I don't have this level of data that I do in Columbus because I have access to the local MLS information. But if you analyze the price categories of your market, you will probably see that homes priced in the affordable range are the inventory may actually be down, flat, or if it's up, just up a couple percentage points year over year. However, homes that are priced over the median. So if your median, let's say, is 300,000 and you look at homes priced over 500,000 or even over 300,000, you'll see a dramatic difference in those two categories. So affordable homes are still very hard to find. Affordable homes that are good and don't need a ton of work, can pass FHA, and are below the median price in your area. I'm curious if those are still hot or not because they're on fire in Columbus and the Columbus surrounding Central Ohio area. So we're up like 4% with homes priced under 300 grand, where our median's about, well, now our median's 340, but we're about 4% up in those listings. But homes priced over that, over the median, over 300 grand, we're up in the 20% range. So when you compare those two, it's easy to see affordable homes are hard to find if they're good anyway, in good areas, and they're not destroyed. Then, and if they're priced right, obviously that helps too. Those are flying off the shelf. But luxury homes or homes priced over the median, especially like in subdivisions that don't offer anything special. So if you're in an area that has, houses that are double the median, well, it better have something special or needs to have the price and the house dialed in order for it to sell quickly. Point of all that rambling is that active listings with price drops to me is just an indication that there are a lot of people either overpricing their house. There's a lot of luxury houses on the market in most areas, more than there are affordable homes. It's kind of the way it is. And so you're going to have more price drops. That's how it is. So, all right. So we looked at the Redfin national update, but now I've got this special stuff for you guys. So this is a chart I created from the Redfin data. I apologize for the scale and kind of how it looks. I'll dial it in as we go along, but I didn't have much time to put it together, only like 10 minutes. So I did my best. But this shows the number of homes and the trend of the number of homes that were delisted, taken off the market before they were sold. So they could be taken off the market because the seller doesn't want to sell anymore. They could be taken off the market because, sometimes it expires, right? Somebody leaves it on the market for like, let's say 3 months, and they have a 3-month contract with their agent, and then it expires. So it technically goes off the market. But this shows you how many people are just pulling their home from the market or homes that are expiring without selling. Now, back in 2022, we were at, and this is thousands of units, 6,830 units. But go forward and you can see the rise we've had recently. Now look at this number. So the most recent data I could pull from Redfin was 19,080 units. 19,080 units were delisted over the last 4 weeks, according to Redfin data. But what caught my attention was the fact that this thing is just going straight up. And I suspected I was going to find this when I looked at this information, that a lot of people are pulling their home off the market. And I I've ran into this personally where people will just take their home. They'll put their home on the market as a way of testing the market, right? They'll go, all right, I've got a nice home. I saw my neighbor sell 2 years ago and cash in. I'm going to go even higher because I saw my value on Zillow and I'm going to go here and price it. And they price it to a level that doesn't make sense. And then it doesn't sell. And so then they go, I really, man, I'm really not going to move anyway, I guess. And so then they cancel the listing or take it off the market and they just sit there. So I am seeing this more and more, even in Columbus and Central Ohio. I'm seeing houses that are sitting there that are really expensive. A lot of multifamily that's completely ridiculously overpriced, like duplexes that are, you know, they don't cash flow at all. They won't even come close to it. Like that makes no sense. It's a complete losing proposition. And so I see those pile up and then they come off the market and they expire. So I'm seeing that. Then I looked at this stat that I thought was also interesting to look at. So then this is active listings, right? Which we've already kind of looked at. But to me, when I look at active listings, again, 901,000, there's definitely been an increase. And I look at the latest increase or the trend that I see, right? In 2024. And then I come back to the delisted homes. What do you see, right? 2024, you can see this thing go whoop straight up. So as more inventory hits the market, I think that, and a lot of it's being delisted, to me, those are people that are testing the market with overpriced houses. That's what it is. To me anyway, that's what I'm seeing. I don't think the 901,000 active listings are the majority of those are affordable houses that like anybody can buy and they're move-in ready. My gut tells me that's not right based on what I see locally. But you tell me what you're seeing in your area. Again, comment below. All right. So let's go back to the downloadable data center and we're going to take a look at Columbus now. So that was national. Now it's time for Columbus. So again, you can just type it here, your metro. Sometimes you have to reset this thing. Oh, we don't have to today. Good thing. All right, let's do new listings in Columbus. So new listings up 5.1% for Central Ohio. Good news, right? Some more inventory can't hurt anybody. At least not yet. Huh. All right, active listings more than last year, up 10.5%. Again, remember what I said. A lot of that active inventory is it's homes that that either people can't afford or they don't want. A lot of it, not all of it, but a lot of it. 10.5% increase year over year, 4,900 active listings. All right, let's look at median sale price. This is depressing, this part. Median, oh, that's new listing. Sorry. Mm, Come on, Jason. Median sale price. Sorry about that. $344,000 median sale price. This is the highest it's ever been, according to Redfin and based on Redfin data. Now, Columbus Board of Realtors has the highest at like 324. We were right at 320 when I looked last time, the last update. So we're approaching it from the Columbus Board of Realtors standpoint. They just look at data differently, a little different. But median sale price from Redfin standpoint, 344,000, an absolute record. It's just an unhealthy market in Columbus, period. So we know active listings are up slightly, new listings are up slightly. Let's look at pending sales. Pending sales up 3.3%. Now remember, nationally, pending sales are down 4%. So that's a 7% swing, right? The market in Columbus and Central Ohio is good from a from a demand standpoint. There's a lot of demand still, but it's not good if you're a prospective buyer who wants an affordable home. If you're looking for a luxury home, there are definitely opportunities out there. Looking for a home like over 500 grand here, there are sellers that need to sell and they've cut their price. And then if you're looking at like homes over a million, definitely opportunities. Definitely. All right. So now let's look at homes sold. Homes sold up 2.8%, 542 units. So it's up, whereas nationally we're down. But in Columbus, we are up slightly compared to last year. Still not great. Still not a ton of movement. Let's look at off market in 2 weeks. And this is what I'm talking about. Like, look, off market in 2 weeks, we're down 2.8%. Nationally, we're up. Oh, I'm sorry. We're down 2.8%. We're down nationally too. So 24.1. This time last year, we were at 26.9. So less homes are off the market quickly. That's good. Gives us some type of breathing room. Let's look at months of supply. Now, this isn't great. 9.5 weeks of supply, better than last year, but not near where we'd like to be. Because that's barely what? That's just barely over two months of supply. Average sale to list price ratio over 100%. So it's not as bad as it was last year, but we're still over 100%. Remember, that's just homes that sell and close. So if a home's overpriced, and it just sits on the market, that never sells, you're not going to see it in this stat. So who cares if the person's asking if the property actually never sells? All right, let's look at median days on market. Well, it's all like lumped together here, huh? Let's take some of this out so we can see what's going on. All right. So we're at 35 days on market. That's up 2.5, just like national, up 2.5 days. So houses are sitting a little bit longer, just like nationally. That's good. That's good. All right. So that was the beautiful Columbus update. I was able to show some awesome additional information with the delisted properties. All right. Some questions and comments. Sometimes there's a lot of people on here, a lot, like four, but for me, that's a lot. But sometimes there's only one, and sometimes there's none. So, Anissa, is that how I say the name? Anissa, I'm bad with names. Corner, watching from Minnesota. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yeah, what's going on in Minnesota? Do you own a home? Do you rent? Are prices up? Are prices down? What's happening in Minnesota? I'd like to know. Hmm. Well, I think I do have another piece of info for you that I think you may like. Well, I don't know if you'll like it, but it's informative at least. So this is from Redfin as well, but this article caught my eye a few days ago. Um, this is about investors. They bought 26% of the country's most affordable homes in the fourth quarter, the highest share on record. So we're talking about affordability. Again, this is from Redfin as well. They got a ton of articles, and there's no doubt that investors are still hungry for houses and they're buying affordable homes. So if you read this information and you read this article, it's going to shock you how involved in the real estate market investors are. And they're mainly large investors, right? I mean, like I'm an investor, I own properties. I do own some single family houses, but they're houses that were destroyed essentially. And I had to put a ton of money into them to get them to, even be livable and not, decrepit. So I don't know that small investors are causing this like large investors are, but large investors are definitely going after affordable homes. I mean, there's no doubt. You can just I mean, it's in the data, and it's one of the things I saw in the article is that low priced homes. Oops. This is the article. Now you can see it. Low priced homes made up 46.5% of all investor purchases in the fourth quarter. So if you're looking from an investor standpoint, almost half of all the homes investors are buying are affordable homes. And I get emails, I get calls from agents who represent large investors all the time that say, "Hey, do you have anything that my investor can buy? I represent a large investor who has thousands of homes and they want to make cash offers." And so they're still hungry for houses. I guess the point of that is you have to do things a little differently than what the average person does if you want to find a great deal and a great property. Gone are the days, in my opinion, where you can just look on the MLS and find deal after deal. Um, and so you have to do things differently. And one of the ways that you can do them differently, or one of the ways you can be different, is by using some techniques that investors use. So one of the easiest ways, it's hard work, but it is simple, is to go driving for dollars. So jump in your car, look at and first before you jump in a car, grab a map, look at the areas you want to buy in. Think about what type of house you want to buy. And this could be for your primary house. And then go out and drive the streets of those areas and look for houses that look like they need help. Look for houses with like overgrown weeds in the summer, that they haven't been mowed in a while. In the winter, look for if you live in an area where it snows, if there's no snow tracks near the front door, after a week of snow, then the house may be abandoned. Look for uh, houses that need new roofs. They just need maintenance and general upkeep. And then write the addresses down, go back to your house and write down the names and the mailing addresses of the owners. And you can find that information in most states. You can find it by the county auditor. You can also find it if you use like a software like PropStream that I use. It'll pull that data even in non-disclosure states. PropStream works, and you don't need the MLS. And then create a mailing list of the houses that you want to mail to, and then literally write them a handwritten letter. And then put in there in the letter, hey, you live in the area, you've noticed their house, you'd like to talk to them about buying it. That's it. And then put your direct number down. Now, if you're a realtor, you got to disclose you're a realtor. So you got to do that normally. But if you're not a realtor, you don't have to disclose that, obviously. So you just say, hey, this is who I am, and be honest. I'd like to talk to you about buying your house. You don't know if they're going to say no. You don't even know if you want the house. You haven't been inside, but you may be interested. So put that in the letter, then put your number down and mail the letters. And if you do that for several months, if you do it for like 6 months, month after month after month, and you can add people to the list, take people off. People are going to call you. People are going to tell you not to mail them anymore. Leave them alone. Why are you wanting my house? What are you trying to do? That type of attitude. That's okay. Just be honest and say, oh, I'm looking for a house to buy, and yours looked like something that was interesting, and you're on a street I like. That can really set you apart from the other home buyers, and that's what investors do. That's what I do to find houses as an investor. And you have an advantage if you're buying a house for yourself, because most people would rather sell to a homeowner than an investor. One tip I'll give you is to make sure you answer the phone. So if you put a direct number down, like your cell phone, answer it when people call. Don't let it go to voicemail. Answer it every time, because when you answer the phone, that's your chance to talk to that homeowner. And then just explain what you're after. And you'd be shocked and surprised how many people will deal directly with you. Now, at that point, you could use an agent, you know, you could bring in a real estate agent. They may have an agent they deal with, but you don't have to use an agent. There's no law says you have to use an agent. Um, and so my point is just do things that are different than what the average person does out there. If you're looking for a property and you're serious, if you just look on the MLS and you're just looking like on your phone at night, going, lamenting, oh, there's nothing to buy, everything's so expensive. It ain't gonna work. You got to go out and do something different, and that's what it takes. So that's what I do all the time. I drive the streets, write down addresses, send them letters, and and find deals. That's what I do. So anyway, hope that helps. Hope that you may be able to use some of that those techniques to find a property, and if you're an investor or an agent or definitely a homeowner. So hope that helps. All right, that is the end of the live stream. Thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe if you got any value out of today. If I've helped you understand the housing market, like the video, subscribe, and we'll see you again on the next Redfin update.